Rising from the cold, fog-laced waters of San Francisco Bay is a rocky island cloaked in mystery Alcatraz. Known ominously as the Rock, this isolated fortress once housed not only the nation's most dangerous criminals, but also echoes of tormented souls. Designed to be escape-proof, its cold, crumbling cells held men driven mad by solitude and silence. Many who came here had already caused chaos in other prison sand. Some say they never truly left. Surrounded by bone-chilling waters, deadly currents, and a permanent shroud of fog, Alcatraz wasn't just inescapable, it was haunted. Guards whispered of phantom footsteps, cell doors slamming on their own, and cries in the night from empty corridors. Even now, visitors report ghostly figures, cold spots, and the eerie feeling of being watched. Alcatraz remains a prison not just of stone and steel, but of spirits who refuse to rest. Here are some explorers who dared to enter Alcatraz and left with chills they'll never forget. Marcus Lane, a seasoned ghost hunter, spent 3 nights alone inside Alcatraz's D-Block, the solitary confinement wing. He documented whispering voices through EVP recordings and caught a shadowy figure pacing inside cell 14D, where no one was present. He left shaken and claimed he felt something crawl into his mind during the final night.
Is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything I can do for you?
Dr. Hart led an overnight investigation into Alcatraz's most haunted locations. While reviewing footage near the old shower rooms, her team captured a chilling scream echoing through the walls. Evelyn reported hearing her name whispered multiple times, and later discovered a cold handprint on her shoulder, despite no one standing behind her. Jason Crow, known for exploring abandoned places, sneaked into Alcatraz after hours for a solo live stream. In cell block B, his stream caught doors slamming in sequence and a low growl near the infirmary. The feed cut out suddenly, and when authorities found him, Jason was curled up in a corner, refusing to speak for hours. Alcatraz isn't just remembered for its iron bars and cold stone wall sits, remembered for what lingers in the silence. Visitors speak of sudden temperature drops, shadowy figures watching from empty cells, and the disembodied cries of long-dead inmates echoing down the corridors. The air feels heavy, as if the prison itself is alive, feeding on the despair left behind. Alcatraz was built to be unbreakable. Surrounded by icy waters and deadly currents, it caged the most dangerous men in America. But on the night of the 11th of June, in 1962, 3 inmates, Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin, vanished from their locked cells and into the cold darkness beyond. Using crude tools, vent tunnels, and papier-mâché heads to fool the guards, they pulled off the most legendary escape in US prison history. But here's the catch: no one knows if they made it out alive. Did they escape? Or did the island take their bodies but never their souls? Let's delve into their haunting story. All 3 were intelligent and determined, with Morris, an experienced escape artist boasting an IQ of 133. Known for his strategic mind, Morris had broken out of multiple prisons before arriving at the notorious island. John and Clarence Anglin were raised in a poor farming family in Florida. From a young age, they were inseparable and turned to robbing banks together. But what made them stand out wasn't only their criminal activity, it was the deep, almost unbreakable bond they shared and their unwavering determination. Physically strong, clever, and accustomed to swimming in frigid waters thanks to childhoods spent diving into icy lakes in Michigan during seasonal farm work, this detail would later become pivotal to their plan. The escape wasn't solely their idea. A 4th inmate, Alan West, also took part in the elaborate plot. For months, he collaborated with the trio, digging and crafting the elements of their escape. But on the night they made their move, West couldn't remove the vent cover from his cell quickly enough and was left behind. Afterward, he cooperated with the FBI, providing them with the clearest and most detailed account of what happened, details that both shocked investigators and exposed the level of ingenuity involved in the escape. The plan was patient, methodical, and astonishing in its complexity. The men worked in secret for over 6 months, right under the noses of prison guards. They used improvised tools, including spoons stolen from the dining hall and a makeshift electric drill crafted from a vacuum cleaner motor. With these, they slowly widened the ventilation ducts in their cells. Behind the walls lay a utility corridor, which offered them a hidden route. They worked mostly at night, timing their digging to coincide with loud music from prison band rehearsals and the constant hum of the facility's air vents to mask the noise. Each night, after digging, they replaced the duct covers and positioned dummy heads in their bedheads, meticulously crafted from soap, toilet paper, and real human hair sourced from the prison barbershop. These decoys were good enough to fool guards during bed checks. Meanwhile, they stitched together more than 50 stolen raincoats to create a makeshift raft and life vests. These were sealed using heat from the prison's steam pipes. When the night finally came, Morris and the Anglin brothers slipped through the holes behind their cells into the utility corridor. From there, they climbed a ventilation shaft to the roof, descended down a kitchen pipe on the outside of the building, crossed the prison yard, and scaled the outer fence. They reached the northeastern shoreline of the island, inflated their raft, and vanished into the night. It wasn't until the morning of the 12th of June that the escape was discovered. During routine bed checks, one of the dummy heads fell to the floor, revealing the ruse. The prison went into immediate lockdown. A massive manhunt was launched, involving the FBI, US Marshals, the Coast Guard, and local authorities. Boats, helicopters, and divers scoured the bay and surrounding areas. Days later, some evidence was recovered. A paddle, a homemade life vest, and a waterproof bag containing personal belongings of the Anglins, all found floating near Angel Island. But of the 3 men, there was no sign, no bodies, no footprints, no confirmed sightings. Officially, the escapees were presumed to have drowned, their raft capsized by the powerful current and the icy waters taking their lives. But not everyone agreed. Speculation ran wild. Could they have survived? Oceanographers and survival experts have long debated the possibility. The San Francisco Bay is infamous for its frigid temperatures, often between 50 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and strong, unpredictable currents. However, timing was everything. If the men had launched their raft between 11 p.m. and midnight, experts believe the current could have actually pushed them toward Angel Island or even further toward freedom. In 2003, Dutch researchers used computer simulations to reconstruct the tides that night and concluded that survival was entirely possible if the timing was just right. The Anglin family, especially their sisters and nephews, have long claimed that John and Clarence survived. They allege that over the years, they received Christmas cards and photographs from the brothers. One of the most intriguing pieces of potential evidence is a photo said to be taken in Brazil in 1975, showing 2 men bearing strong resemblance to the Anglins, standing on a rural farm. In 2015, a photo surfaced in a History Channel special, possibly showing the escaped Alcatraz inmates alive. Experts saw potential, but the FBI stayed skeptical. In 2013, a letter allegedly from Frank Morris claimed the men survived, offering to reveal his location for medical care in a short sentence. Tests on the letter were inconclusive. The 1962 Alcatraz escape remains legendary, inspiring the 1979 film Escape from Alcatraz. The prison closed a year later and now draws over 1.5 million visitors annually. The mystery endures. Did they drown or escape to freedom? Alcatraz may be closed, but many believe it's far from empty. Visitors and staff have reported chilling whispers, cold spots, and shadowy figures roaming the old cell blocks. Some say they've heard cell doors clanging shut on their own, or ghostly cries echoing through the night. The spirits of prisoners long gone may still walk the island, trapped forever in its cold, crumbling walls.